In this video, we will cover writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Now, parallel and perpendicular lines have a special connection, and it revolves around their slope. So if I look at a picture of two parallel lines, notice they are moving in the same direction at the same time. So that's why we say they have the same slope. To give you an example, if I said the top line had a slope of, let's say, 2, so that means it's going up 2 and over 1. The bottom line would be moving at that same rate of up 2 and over 1. So they have the exact same slope. Now, perpendicular lines will have some different slopes, and if we take a look at an example of perpendicular lines, first of all, they are going to cross, and specifically they're going to cross at a 90-degree angle. So that makes our lines special. Their slopes are actually going to be complete opposites, is what we say. So to give you an example of opposite slopes, if my first line, let's say this one moving up to the right, has a slope of, let's go with 3 over 5. So it's moving up 3 and over 5 each time. The second line that's moving down and to the right is going to have a slope of negative 5 over 3. So take a look, when we use the word opposite, that means one's positive and one's negative, but it also means opposite because the fraction is flipped. Notice 3 over 5 changed to 5 over 3. So complete opposites, sign-wise, positive, negative, and the numerator and denominator of the fraction. So keep that idea in mind as we go ahead and write our equations. So our first example is asking us to write an equation of a line that is perpendicular to the line 2x plus 3. So let's talk about that line for a minute. Now I know that the slope of this line is 2. Okay, so I'm going to fill that in. That's the original slope. But then the new line, the one that's going to be perpendicular, so I'm going to use that idea of the opposites that we just talked about. So the opposite of a positive 2, I'm going to need to use a negative, and then I am going to flip that. So instead of 2 over 1, I'm going to use 1 over 2. So the new slope we're going to actually use is negative 1/2. Okay, now we need to actually write an equation. Now that we know what slope we're using, I'm going to bring in some other key ideas. It looks like our line is passing through the point 2, 4. So that is my x1, y1 value. So I'm going to use the point slope form that we were practicing the other day because I have this point, 2, 4, and I have my new slope, the negative 1/2. So here we go. Let me start with my y minus, and I'm going to bring in the y1 value, so that's 4, equals, and I'm going to need my slope, so that's that negative 1/2. Make sure you use the new slope. And then we're going to have x minus, let's bring in that x value of 2. Okay, so this is a wonderful looking point slope formula here. I am noticing the directions ask for slope-intercept form, so that means I need to do a little bit of algebra here and rearrange so that I can have a y equals equation. So let me start by distributing this negative 1/2. Okay. So that's going to be a negative 1/2 x, and negative 1/2 times negative 2 is going to be positive 1, and I'm just going to bring down that y minus 4. Okay, we're still trying to get the y by itself. Let me add 4 to both sides. This should be our last step, so we're ready for that new equation. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. It looks like our y-intercept is 5 here. Okay, so that is our equation for the line perpendicular to the original line they gave us, and it will go through the point 2, 4 that they also gave us. Okay, in the second example, they want us to write an equation of a line that is parallel to the line 4x plus 8y equals 16. So I remember parallel lines are going to have the same slope. Okay, that's really important to note. But I'm not really sure what my slope is right now. So I'm going to take this equation and rearrange it into slope-intercept form just so I can figure out what slope we're working with here. So let me go ahead and subtract 4x on both sides. Bring down the 8y equals negative 4x plus 16, and divide both sides by 8. So that gives me a negative 1/2 x plus 2. Notice I divided both terms, the x term and my whole numbers, by 8. So this slope of negative 1/2 is what I'm going to use. I'm going to fill that in under the old slope, negative 1/2. And because we're dealing with parallel lines, the new slope is going to be the same, negative 1/2. Remember, parallel lines have the exact same slope. So I'm going to use that negative 1/2 in my equation, and I'm also going to use this point right here, 0, 5. Now I could use that as the x1 and y1 and use point slope formula like I did on the first example, but I'm actually recognizing this 0, 5. This is also the y-intercept. So I think we're ready to write our new equation in slope-intercept form using this new slope, remember the negative 1/2, and then knowing that our intercept is 5. So let's put that together. So I'm going to go straight to slope-intercept form where I need negative 1/2 x and plus 5 for that y-intercept. There you go. So the next example we're going to look at has a special case where they want me to write the equation of the line that's parallel to x equals 3. So it's special case because this line right here, x equals 3, is not in slope-intercept form. It doesn't even have a y. So you may be struggling to come up with like what does that line look like? And remember, it is a vertical line. For our visual learners here, I'm going to do a quick sketch. Okay, so this line is going to go through, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's just a vertical line going straight up and down, passing through 3 on the x-axis. So that's our vertical line. Okay, so if I need to write an equation that's parallel to this line, that means it's got to go in the same direction, so my equation is going to also be a vertical line. So it's going to be an x equals equation. Now I do need to consider that I want my line to go through the point 6, 3. So let me graph that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's like 6, 3 would be over here somewhere. That's the point. So if I have a vertical line going through 6, 3, it's got to be, let me just kind of map that out right here. So think about what would an equation be for this line. Remember the green one was x equals 3, so my blue line is going to be x equals 6. So it's a special case because it doesn't have a slope. We actually say the slope is undefined, so it doesn't make sense to use point slope formula or slope-intercept formula. In this case, I think the visual representation is the best way to describe that. Okay, number 4, I'm going to build off that same idea. We're still going to use this line x equals 3, but notice if I read through, we want an equation that is perpendicular to the x equals 3. So if I sketch out, again, I'll put this x equals 3 line in green, but this time for perpendicular, that means we're going to have a horizontal line that would go perpendicular to the green x equals 3 line. So instead of an x equals, it's going to be a y equals. And we still have that same point, 6, 3. So I can fill fill that in here. And this time I'm going to draw that horizontal line going across. Oops, kind of missed the point, but you get where that is. Okay, so this is going to be a y equals, and then think about what number is it going through on the y-axis. It's going through 3. Okay, so this has a slope of 0, another kind of special case, so there's no x in here. It's just y equals 3 for this equation. So as a recap, I think point slope and slope-intercept form are great tools, but also keep in mind that you could use a visual representation to get you the information you need. Okay, so we talk about adding tools to the toolbox. This is just one more tool in your toolbox. Thanks for watching.